and evil actions, and does not abandon foolishness, Allah Ta'ala is not in need of his leaving off of food and drink. When we say وَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ, Allah is not in need, this is how it is presented, but we know as Muslims from the names and the attributes of Allah Ta'ala is that he doesn't need anything. He's not in need of the worship of creation. Alright? It doesn't increase him, nor does it decrease him whether we worship or we don't worship Allah Ta'ala. So it's important that we understand this hadith as it's intended to be understood. Alright? The one that doesn't leave off evil speech and acting upon it and acting foolishly, then his fast is going to be as if he didn't do anything. He won't be rewarded for that. Does that make sense? That's the intended meaning from it, and Allah Ta'ala knows best. Now, Al-Bukhari. Al-Bukhari. Now, تفضل يا أخي.
I think like if someone's fasting, especially on Monday from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
hasn't dropped energy yet to be doing backbiting and
He will be sleeping like a door, but he'll be surprised.
You know, it's a fantastic point, but you will be surprised.
yeah.
You will be surprised. And oftentimes as well, you know, we think that because we're fasting and we've got low energy and stuff like that, this is an excuse for us to decrease in our act. It's not. It's actually a means, or we should use this opportunity to even go harder. And it is difficult. Like I said, there are certain things that Allah Ta'ala has obligated on the Ummah that are difficult. But it doesn't mean that's just because something's difficult, ikhwani, just because something's difficult in the religion, that we don't have to do it. Make sense? It's so important to understand this. You guys are young right now, so you might not know the gravity of what I'm saying. But inshallah ta'ala, one day you will. Just because something's difficult in the religion doesn't give us a concession to necessarily leave it off.
Is it true that if something's more difficult, you get more reward for it as well? Is that true or what?
I mean, I don't know any reference for that. But we have got references in the religion, inshallah ta'ala we'll cover it today, which go to show that if something happens to a believer, right, as a result of carrying out an act of worship, then that thing that happened to the believer is beloved. Whether he's going to get more rewards or not, Allah knows best. I'll give you an example. Everybody knows that, and we've got a hadith inshallah ta'ala it's going to come soon. Everybody knows that when you fast, كما جاء في الحديث, that oftentimes for many people, I don't want to say the majority of people, but sometimes you might smell a foul odor coming from somebody's mouth. أليس كذلك?
Yeah.
Now, who in here likes to smell bad smells? Whether that be BO, bad breath, a fart, anything. Nobody likes to smell bad smells. The malaika don't like to smell bad smells, right? Ordinarily. However, when that bad smell comes from the mouth of the Muslim as a result of fasting, is that bad smell now, which is disliked to human beings, beloved or hated to Allah? Beloved to Allah Ta'ala. Why? The hadith mentions and he's fasting, but why is that bad odor there in the first place?
Because the bad odor is a result of you leaving that for the sake of Allah.
Excellent. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if the act of worship is more difficult, you're going to get more rewards. I don't know that. But sometimes what happens as a result of carrying out the act of worship, you know, and even if we might deem it to be negative or bad, it's beloved to Allah. Just like Hajj. When you go for Hajj, you go for Umrah, you're going to be disheveled, right? You're going to be maybe smelly, sweaty. Ordinarily, nobody likes to be sweaty or smelly. Smelly or sweaty. Also, alright? But Allah Ta'ala loves that. Why? Because the only reason somebody is smelly or sweaty in that context is because they're carrying out an act of worship Lillahi Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Does that make sense, Ikhwan? Does that mean now somebody should purposely go start breathing in people's face in the month of Ramadan? La abadan. La. I highly recommend nobody does that, because just because Allah loves it doesn't mean that we're going to love it. You with me? And we have to be mindful of this, because I mean it's happened to me plenty of times, and I'm sure everyone's got their own unique stories, not story, where somebody in the month of Ramadan would just be like heedless. If you know, this is just advice from your brother now, no fatwa. If you know that in the month of Ramadan, you may have a foul odor coming out of your mouth because of the fast. Like, be a bit mindful of other people. Like, don't speak where you're going to be breathing into somebody's face. Or sometimes what happens in the salah, once you haven't had food for a long time, then you eat certain foods when you break your fast, them onion bhajis or whatever the case may be,
Fish sandwich.
whatever it is, and then you're standing up for tarawih, and then you're just burping. You're just burping. Like, yes, everyone burps, and sometimes most of the times you can't hide a burp. But there's certain things you can do to make it akhaf ala nas. Like this. Some people will be just like, burp. I'm being so serious. What does that do now to the khushu' of your brother to your or your sister to the right or the left of you? It's gone. It's gone. It makes sense, ikhwan. So we have to be mindful. Just because something is beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't mean that it's gonna be beloved to the people. Does that make sense, ikhwan? It's just about being mindful and thinking about others during this blessed month. And if somebody does happen to have a foul odor coming out of their mouth, don't say to the brother, "Akhi, your breath stinks," or anything like that, or "Sister, your breath smells bad." Don't say that. Alright, don't say that. Does that mean that we can't brush our teeth in the month of Ramadan? Of course you can. You can brush your teeth in the month of Ramadan. You just have to be cognizant, mindful, that you don't swallow any water or any toothpaste. No, nothing.
Chef Abdul Razak said that if you have a taste in your mouth, it breaks your fast.
A taste in your mouth from...
Like from toothpaste or from anything like that.
I've never heard that, akhi. I've never heard having a taste in your mouth. The reason why I am a bit mutaraddid, hesitant about that, because we know it's permissible for the woman or whoever who's cooking that she can put the I don't know, she's cooking soup. She can't taste it to see if it's got the right amount of seasoning, so she maybe puts it on a spoon and he puts it on her tongue. He puts it on her tongue, right? But she doesn't swallow it, she wipes it off or whatever she does. But there's a taste now on the tongue. The issue is not to swallow. Not to swallow, that's the issue here. And Allah Ta'ala knows best. Maybe next time you see Sheikh Abdul Razak, ask him for the reference for that. That'd be great. That'd be great. Adhan? Let's just stop for the adhan, ikhwan. We'll go for another 15 minutes, and after that we'll stop inshallah ta'ala till next week. Is that okay? Jazeetum khairan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. ومن فضائل رمضان حديث أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا جاء رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب النار وصفدت الشياطين. متفق عليه. يعني هذا الحديث أخرجه البخاري ومسلم. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, He said that if the blessed month of Ramadan comes, فُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ, that the gates of the paradise are opened. وَغُلِّقَتْ أَبْوَابُ النَّارِ, and the doors or the gates of the fire are closed. وَصُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ, and the devils, the shayateen, are chained. This hadith has been collected by Imam al-Bukhari wa Muslim. Now again, this is one of those hadith that we hear all the time during the blessed month of Ramadan. But oftentimes, the part in the hadith where it says وَصُفِّدَتْ الشَّيَاطِينَ, and the devils are chained, oftentimes it's translated as locked up. And sometimes we understand it as they're locked up. So we say in the month of Ramadan, or some of us believe that in the month of Ramadan, there is absolutely no effect of the shaitan. You guys, is that what your understanding of this narration? There's absolutely no ta'thir of the shaitan on us in the month of Ramadan.
No.
ايش عندك؟
الشيطان is only like
Still human shaitan. And also, I think it's true that the big shaitans are the ones that's chained, and maybe the small ones are still.
Okay, I'm not too sure about that, but you said a good word there, or the word that I was looking for. You say chained. Being chained and being locked up and locked away is two different things. Being chained entails that they're still about, but they're chained. They're going to be not as effective as they are outside the month of Ramadan. But when you say that the shayateen are locked away, that means that they can't harm us. But we still find Muslims doing bad things in the month of Ramadan. Alaysa kadhalik? You got a question?
I heard one of the scholars explain it. He said it's like when a dog is chained, when you go near it, it can still kind of like pounce and get you, but it can't. Like,
It's restricted, right?
Yeah, it's not used to it.
That's it. And the reason why, according to Shaykh Muhammad ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, the reason why Allah ta'ala opens up the gates or the doors of the Jannah is due to the fact that in this blessed month, the Muslims are performing more good deeds than they would do outside. And also it's if you know that in this particular month, from this day to this day, that the doors of Jannah are going to be open, what is that going to do in terms of, sparking your desire to do good deeds? It's going to encourage you, right? And this is the encouragement there. We know that the doors of the paradise are opened, and also the doors of the doors of the hellfire are closed. And the shayateen being chained doesn't mean that they're not about. They're about, but they're going to be working at a lower pace, if you like, or lower strength, or as Shaykh Abu Sumayya said, they're going to be restricted, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala knows best. وَتُغْلَقُ أَبْوَابَ النَّارِ لِقِلَّةِ الْمَعَاصِي مِنْ أَهْلِ الْإِيمَانِ. And the reason why the doors of the Jannah, the Jahannam, the fire, are closed, because in this month, the ma'asi, the sins that we commit on a day-to-day basis, they're reduced. And this is the statement, or this is the speech of Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullahu ta'ala. Naam, tafadhal akhi.
I don't really understand the gates of Jannah being open and the gates of fire being, not in a physical sense obviously, but
For sure.
I mean in terms of what does that mean to us kind of thing? Does it mean like if you die in that time then you're going to Jannah? Does it mean that I don't really understand.
Jade, su'al mumtaz. Again, I don't have any dalil to say if somebody dies in the month of Ramadan, they're going to go to Jannah. It could be a fasikh that dies in the month of Ramadan. But let's say, mathalan, somebody that is salih, righteous, right? We know that if a person dies carrying out a tremendous act of worship, like fasting, al-jihad, anything, seeking knowledge, then that is going to be a tremendous indication and a sign that inshallah ta'ala his ending was upon khair. Alright? But what does it mean, the fact that the Jannah is open now? Allah knows best. I don't know. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen any of the ulama mention exactly, okay, what does it mean for us now? Except that the reason why it's open is for the fact that many good deeds are done in this month. And why is the fire closed? The doors of the fire closed is because oftentimes the Muslims reduce in the ma'asi. Even you might find somebody that knows into music, a hijab, or a sister that doesn't wear hijab. In that month they make an effort, and they even know, alright, I'm going to make an effort. I know somebody very close to me, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and guide her. I said to her today, I said, she doesn't wear hijab. I said, you planning to cover up in the month? I'm like, stepping on eggshells, sure, yeah? You planning to cover up in the month of Ramadan? She's like, yeah. I was like, mashallah, mashallah, that's excellent, that's excellent. I say, what about after the month of Ramadan? Is it something that you plan to continue doing? She's like, inshallah, let me just get through the month of Ramadan first. You have to deal with people according to their level. You with me? But, you know, the fact that somebody might be a sinner outside the month of Ramadan, they respect the month such that they're going to make an effort. But is it sufficient just to make an effort, knowing that after this month's over, I'm going to go back to music, or I'm going to go back to not wearing a hijab? That's not the maqsood. The maqsood is that we gain, as I mentioned in the beginning, taqwa of Allah Ta'ala. So we should not go into the month or knowing that when the month finishes, I'm going to go back to what I'm doing. La, go into the month hoping and beseeching Allah Ta'ala that He will give you the strength to stay away from that which you were doing prior to the month starting. You with me? If you slip, and we slip on a daily basis, la bats, turn back to Allah and ask for forgiveness. Make sense, ikhwani? Shukran, jazeela. Tayyib. I think we're probably going to have enough time. It's 30, right? We've got 5 minutes, and I'm going to, inshallah ta'ala, get through as much as I can. And again, today's lecture was all about the fada'il of as-sawm, the virtues of praying. فقال الشيخ محمد ابن عثيمين رحمه الله تعالى من فضائل الصوم, from the virtues of fasting, أن ثوابه لا يتقيد بعدد معين بل يعطى الصائم أجره بغير حساب. The Shaykh says that the rewards for the one that is carrying out the true fast, i.e. not just food and drink, but everything that Allah Ta'ala is displeased with, He stays away from it. It's not restricted to a particular amount of reward. Alright, we know that a good deed, من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله فله به حسنة, whomsoever reads a single harf, a letter from the book of Allah, for him, for every letter he reads, is a hasana. والحسنة ماذا؟ بعشر أمثالها. لا أقول ألف لام وميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. I don't say to you that alif lam mim is a letter, but alif is a letter, lam is a letter, and mim is a letter. And we know that deeds can be multiplied from 10 times to up to 700 times. As it relates to Sawm, this isn't the case. This isn't the case. Who knows the dalil for that?
Sawm really. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the Sawm is for him, so he knows how much he's going to pay. We don't know.
Mumtaz, was you going to say the same thing? Excellent. Guys, understand this point. The majority, if not all of the actions that we carry out, there is a reward for it. Either Jannah, either forgiveness, either, you're going to get rewarded 10 times, 700 times, or anywhere in between. Except a Sawm. Why? Due to the purity and the sincerity of the one that is truly carrying out the act of Sawm. Because if you think about it, nobody really knows if somebody's fasting, right? On the face of it, I can come to the masjid in the month of Ramadan and you can see me not eat. But nobody knows when I walk into that classroom and I'm by myself if I take out a Snickers bar or a Mars bar or a glass of water and drink. Alright? It's such a intimate and personal act of worship that only Allah truly knows who's doing it. So I want to, inshallah ta'ala, read you this hadith. Hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to get time to finish it. 2 minutes. And Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال الله تعالى. What does this mean? قال الله تعالى. Quran? قدسي. Hadith Qudsi. Hadith Qudsi, right? قال الله تعالى كل عمل بني آدم له إلا الصوم فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. Allah Ta'ala says in the Hadith Qudsi that every single action of the son of Adam is for himself, except a Sawm, for indeed Sawm is for Allah and Allah rewards for it. As-sawmu junnatun. Fasting is a shield. فإذا كان يوم صوم أحدكم فلا يرفث ولا يسخب. And if the day of fasting comes to any one of you, then he shouldn't have any sexual relations, nor should he raise his voice, i.e., nor should he get engaged in any argumentation and any quarreling. فإن سابه أحد أو قاتل فليقل إني صائم. If somebody tries to سابه, curse him, or if somebody tries to fight with him, then he should say إني صائم, I am fasting. والذي نفسي محمد بيدي, by the one whose soul Muhammad is in, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لخلوف فم الصائم أطيب عند الله تعالى أطيب عند الله من ريح المسك. By the one whose soul Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is in, the odor, the smell of the one who is fasting that comes out of the mouth of the one that is fasting is more beloved to Allah tabarak wa ta'ala than the smell of al-misk, yani atar. للصائم فرحتان يفرحهما. For the one that is fasting, he has two joys in this dunya. Either أفطر فرح بفطره. When he breaks his fast, he is delighted at breaking his fast. وإذا لقي ربه فرح بصومه. And if he meets his Lord, he is pleased with his fasting. I'm going to mention one fa'idah from this hadith, and then we're going to have to continue it next lesson. Notice that the Prophet ﷺ didn't advise us if somebody tries to fight or insult us just to remain silent. He never said, yani an yaskut, just remain silent. He said, tell that person, inni sa'im. And one of the benefits that the Shaykh extracted, and I've never heard it before, he said that you say inni sa'im such that that person knows that you're not weak, you're not scared, you're not refraining from defending yourself because you feel any type of pressure from this individual, but you're letting him know the only reason why I'm not going to say anything back or trouble you is out of respect for this blessed month. And to me, it's the first time I heard it, and it was a tremendous fa'idah. You know, the Muslim isn't supposed to be a coward. The Muslim isn't supposed to be a coward. Does that mean the Muslim should be a troublemaker? La. But at the same time, if somebody comes and picks a fight with you, you stand your ground. You defend yourself in accordance to what is acceptable in the law. Bila shak wa la rayba fi wa bidhalika. We're going to conclude. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakum Allahu khairan ikhwani for coming. 2019, right? Awesome.